I've done, I'd blow you straight
To hell. We're back with another one. The Silver Man.
Here he comes.
He's gone again. We're back with another one. Sorry for the cutoff of the last video. Yeah, just jam that. It's the Candyman. Nostalgia Ball hits back with another one. Oh, shit. Such a good jam. Anyway, we're back with another one. And there's something else I wanted to play. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it up.
Zero catch.
Damn it. Fucking commercials, man. There we go. I am Silverman. It's Silverman back in the house. Back with another one. And today, they said, sorry for my last video cutting off. We're low budget productions here. Anyway, so one of my subscribers was talking, actually Stacks was talking about buying some silver on Marketplace. I don't know if I think he found it on Marketplace or he found it somewhere. For almost spot, which is really good. The cheapest I was actually finding silver. I did find some silver at 78. A guy had 67 ounces. I still might buy some off him. But yeah, right now, if you're trying to get into silver, the best thing you can do is go on Facebook Marketplace. Be careful that you're getting the real stuff. There is a lot of fake silver floating around, but you can usually tell by tapping the bar. It will make kind of like a vintage sound like this, like, hold on, let me see if I can recreate it. Like it'll have a ping to it, so you want to make sure you test it. But to try to, because this is what the banks are essentially doing, is anyone panics selling silver for under $90, they're just buying them out. So you see anyone panic selling silver, the physical, it's probably not a bad time to buy. Or if you want to wait till prices get lower, if they do, which I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's still not a bad time to grab if you didn't get any yet, or if you want to get more in your stack. It's a lot better than paying $100 or $150 later on down the road. So even if it does get it back down to 50, at least you're not missing it at 80. You know what I mean? But if it goes up to like $200, you're fucked if you waited to try to wait till 50. So I would maybe say don't go all in at 70 or 5 or 80, but I would still say to grab some at that price. And if it does go lower, grab more. Then you kind of cost base average yourself in, and it's still not that bad. So that's essentially what I'm planning on probably doing with a lot of my silver. Is if prices drop any more, I'll probably grab more because it'll just lower my cost based average. And then when prices do go up, it will really help. So you kind of always have to cost based average these things and figure out what you're actually into silver for, and then hope to God the prices go higher than that. So that's kind of one way to do things, is cost-based average of, if you paid $100 for some ounces, now you're getting them for 70, so now your cost-based average is maybe down to like 85 or 90. So that helps sometimes, is when the prices do go down, you're kind of able to get your cost-based average down, and then if the prices go back up, you're like really good. So that's what I would be doing right now. If I really wanted to get into the silver and gold market, I would just be keeping an eye out for deals on Marketplace of people selling physical. I wouldn't buy the ETFs. Because ETFs are really a total scam. So that's kind of my best advice for right now. And if you do have silver and you're watching the prices drop, I would just relax and chill. You still own the greatest asset on the planet, silver and gold. You just can't go wrong with it. I still don't care. I would rather have this bar over some paper money any day of the week. So that's just how I look at it. I would much rather have physical over paper. So it is what it is. But yeah, the market did bounce back up. So I think we're at 75 again now. But we were in the low 69s, which is crazy. Bitcoin had a little bit of a comeback. It dropped to 60 grand, and I had said this on my channel about a month ago that I thought the price of Bitcoin would drop to 58K and then skyrocket back up again. And so far, my prediction was like really spot on. Of it dropped down to 60K, and now it's back up to 67 grand. So if you bought Bitcoin at 60K, you made 7 grand doing absolutely nothing in like a day, dude, which is just crazy. But once again, Bitcoin's just a tough animal to predict. You could have easily bought it at 60 grand, it just dropped to nothing. But yeah, if you bought a Bitcoin at 60K at the bottom, you're now up 7 grand, which I wouldn't let that fool you though, because those gains can easily be taken away with that too. So I wouldn't hold it, but at the same time, Bitcoin does have potential. I don't doubt it. Because it was 115 grand at one point, that right now is actually a really cheap time for Bitcoin. Because hell, we were all looking at Bitcoin 115 grand for a coin. I can't really swing that, but swinging, 30 grand for a half a Bitcoin or 33 grand for a half a Bitcoin is not really that far off. If you wanted to get into Bitcoin to get a half a Bitcoin, and if it does in some miracle go to $1 million, you turn 33 grand into 500K, which would be a nice retirement plan. But you also risk Bitcoin going back down. But yeah, I just really wish I had a crystal ball to see what happens in the next year or two with Bitcoin and silver, but I don't. But it's like, it does seem like 60 grand is really cheap for Bitcoin, but at the same time, it still is crypto, which is a very unpredictable animal. Like, I remember 20 grand for a Bitcoin being pretty normal and that being pretty expensive. So I don't know. But will this be the last time we see Bitcoin in the 60,000 range? Very good question. But I do remember Pokemon Joey promoting Bitcoin when it was like 110,000, saying you should buy it. And if you bought it back then, you lost 50,000 fucking dollars, which that's brutal. You know, I know no one's perfect in this game. I mean, you know, I fucked up on silver so far. And I wouldn't even call it a fuck up because they literally crashed the market on purpose. And it was a fluke thing. Bitcoin was more of just like a gradual decline of it not being a good investment at 115,000. But, you know, I had so many people like last month. I made a video on Bitcoin and gold, and I had so many people talking shit about Bitcoin, saying, you know, it's going to be $1 million and everything. It's like, you're down to 60 grand, man. Now 66, but still, like, these people were defending it at like 100K. And you have to look at it from like a normal person's perspective. It's like, dude, no one wants to spend 100 grand on a Bitcoin. I mean, like, if you worked for your money, like, you don't want to fucking buy a damn Bitcoin with it. You know what I mean? Like, even if it does have the potential to go up and be expensive, like, most people just don't want to do that. Like, they'd rather buy a $90 ounce of silver that you hold in your hand, that you actually have your wealth over crypto. And will that be a mistake? Who knows? Only time will tell. But like with Bitcoin, it's like, yeah, you're spending, like, even right now, $66,000 for one Bitcoin, which I don't know. Like, it does seem really cheap compared to where it was at. Like, I wouldn't knock buying Bitcoin right now. I even though I know a lot of like stackers would say fuck Bitcoin, but it is really cheap right now. Really cheap. And that's usually the time to buy something, is when it's in the dips. But at the same time, it is risky as hell. And God only knows what will happen with it. If it will skyrocket or just tank, we honestly don't know. But down to 60 grand is pretty wild. You know, like, that's a massive loss, man. I mean, even if you compare it to silver's drop, that's still a massive loss. Like, I mean, going from 90 grand down to 60, and on top of that, if you sold your Bitcoin and bought silver and sold it at the top of silver, you have 270,000. You know, like, if you sold your Bitcoin, went and bought silver, now you go buy you go buy 3 or 4 Bitcoins. So, like, I would say silver really won that war. Even silver at 80, if you still sold, you know, your Bitcoin and held silver, you took the hit at 120, and you're now selling for 80, you still made a lot more money than holding Bitcoin. So, I don't know. Will this change? Who knows? Even with the Pokemon market, it's been like just kind of staying where it's at. Not really much going on there either. And yeah, we're all just kind of like in the mega bear moment, dude. It's kind of bearish for everything right now. Of like, really your cash is getting you some really good deals right now. If you just kind of sit on your cash and waited to buy stuff, man, really good deals right now. And really good pullbacks to invest in. I mean, you're not paying $120 for an ounce of silver anymore. You can now get it for like $80, $90 for physical. Bitcoin, they said for 66 grand. I mean, really, if you believe in any of these assets, very good prices right now. It's just, what do you believe in? And I mean, it's so hard to tell. I will say this, that I was planning on actually buying some Bitcoin when it hit 60 grand. Like I told myself when it hit 58 grand, I was going to buy, but 60 would have did it for me. If it didn't just go up 7 grand, I probably would have bought a half a Bitcoin or maybe a full Bitcoin, just to have it in my possession in case the price does go up. But at the same time, I would just rather have a silver and gold position, man, and some Pokemon and see what happens. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Very tempted to buy like even a half a Bitcoin, because 33 grand's a lot less to come up with than 60 grand to buy a half a Bitcoin. So definitely a big difference there. But at the same time, I don't know. Bitcoin's such a wild animal that it's tough to tell. It really is. But yeah, 60 does seem really cheap. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Bitcoin thing. Like, is it a buy at 60 grand? Like, would you buy it, or would you just be like, nah, just stick with silver, bro? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's really all we have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're out.